Good evening, everyone. I'm Amy Gill, joining you live from Tiger Stadium, where the LSU-Florida game just wrapped up, and man, this certainly was one for the ages. We have to ask really quickly, third-ranked Ole Miss got the loss last night. Were you able to watch that game? The Golden State Warriors are just one win away from a place they haven't been since 1976. The Western Conference Finals. There's been talk about him possibly retiring soon, hanging up the cleats. Well, I got to ask him about it today. DeRuyter in particular likes this sort of technology for the quarterbacks because they're able to see the formations a lot better than with a simple camera. Totally new quarterbacks coming up. Zach Greenlee, Kilton Anderson, Chasen Virgil. What did you see out of each of those quarterbacks? The LSU guys, they are warming up, getting ready to take on a Kentucky team that is once again ranked in the top 10. They said after last night's game that they just need to keep doing what they're doing, work hard, and try to limit the big plays in order to get wins in their final 2 regular season games. Huge matchup we have here, 6th ranked LSU against 8th ranked Florida, but they've got a backup quarterback that they're going to have to start tonight. The first day of spring practice means that the quarterback competition begins today. This is almost a completely different offensive line than they started with week 1, and they were still able to protect it. Ever since LSU baseball season ended, we've been finding out which guys are going pro and which are staying with the program through 2017. Looks like they're going to have a good group coming back, but a lefty they thought would return is actually not. LSU has confirmed that Jake Latz is leaving the Fighting Tiger baseball program and will transfer to another school. Latz came to LSU very highly regarded. He was the 2014 Illinois Player of the Year, was drafted in the 11th round of the MLB draft out of high school. The redshirt freshman saw his first action this season, but he was limited because of an injury. The lefty made 3 starts for the Tigers this year, going 0-1, appeared in 7 games, pitching a total of 8 1/3 innings with a 7.56 ERA. Meanwhile, former LSU forward Ben Simmons was introduced by the Philadelphia 76ers today. The Australian was the #1 overall pick in last night's NBA draft. So now the work begins for him in Philly. He spoke today about what last night's madness was like for him.
I'm very excited to be here. Last night was a blur, and it's surreal. It's surreal, honestly. I'm glad I'm here and I'm ready to get to work.
Also today, the Pelicans introduced their NBA draft pick, Oklahoma's Buddy Hield, who was taken 6th overall, and Kansas Jayhawk Cheek Diallo, who New Orleans actually grabbed in the 2nd round via trade. Now this weekend, the Manning Passing Academy is going on in Thibodaux. Archie, Peyton, Eli, along with some help like LSU quarterback Brandon Harris, are teaching high school kids all about the game of football. It is the 21st year of the camp, and for Peyton, this time's different. His first time not playing football, meaning he isn't really throwing around the ball so much at Nicholls State.
I threw one pass out there to a tight end, and I underthrew him by about 5 yards. So that was a good reminder I don't need to be throwing anymore. And but I still am as actively participating as I always have, trying to help the kids, coach the kids.
Anything I've taken from them is always be supportive, be open-minded, and obviously be very supportive of these kids out here. I mean, it's a lot of information they're taking right now, and it's a main stage. Anytime you're a kid and you get the opportunity, Peyton Manning come up and touch you on the shoulder, I would have freaked out if I was a kid.
Yeah, I think I would have too. The camp goes through the weekend, wraps up on a Sunday morning. Yeah, I pretty much would freak out too if
I know
I'm
you're a big fan, right?
I'm a big Colts fan, so I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan. And I remember at the Go Nation show earlier this fall too, got to sit down and talk with Archie. It was amazing stuff. But yeah, being a kid, seeing, if you're a Louisiana guy, seeing Brandon Harris is cool enough, and then seeing all the Mannings as well. Yeah, pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
Here at home, LSU baseball is preparing for tomorrow's regional opener against Utah Valley University. It may be hard to believe, but junior Kramer Robertson has only ever played in 1 regional game at LSU before. That'd be weird if he wasn't on the field, but a year ago, well, that wasn't really the case.
At this time last year, I guess you could say my career here was hanging by a thread. I didn't know what was next for me. I didn't know if my elbow was ever going to heal up how I wanted it to. I didn't know if I'd ever come here and have to be able to have success.
And watch that one sail over the wall.
Kramer-Robertson.
What a difference a year makes. Junior Kramer-Robertson shifted over to shortstop at the beginning of the season, taking over for first-round draft pick Alex Bregman. Well, Robertson's done well enough to be named one of 11 semifinalists for the Brooks Wallace Award, given to the nation's top shortstop. He was also named a second-team All-American by Collegiate Baseball magazine. Don't forget he's had to endure 2 facial injuries this season.
I worked really hard to get to this point. It didn't just happen. I dedicated myself to getting back on the field, and I told myself if I had the opportunity to have a starting job that I was going to do everything I could to keep it, and that's what I've done. I've just tried to do whatever I can to help this team win, and it's paid off for me this year.
Robertson was the leading LSU hitter through SEC play this year and right now owns a .316 batting average. The All-SEC first-teamer has also cemented his role as the clutch hitter. He is the top Tiger up to bat with runners in scoring position.
We wouldn't be in the position we're in right now if it wasn't for him, his defense, his offense, and his leadership. He's grown by leaps and bounds as a person and as a player.
So just last year, he was watching the regional on TV after an elbow injury kept him out the last part of the season. Heading into this year, it wasn't even a given that he would be a starter, but now he is one of the team's biggest leaders heading into postseason play.
It's been so heartwarming for me as a coach to see him evolve into the player and person that he has evolved into.
Now having the opportunity to go out there and play and contribute to my team with a big role is pretty special to me, and something I want to take full advantage of when I get out there. It's really been a special year for me.